Hey, what's going on YouTube? Welcome back to Beemer Fam. We have a quick update on my V10 manual M5 that I just bought. As you guys will find out today, this car has some big issues with it. And a lot of you guys have been commenting, predicting that this would happen. And I think it is rod bearing related. This car is known for its naturally aspirated 5-liter V10 that revs to almost 8,500 RPMs. With that comes a lot of maintenance and a lot of potential issues that this motor can have. As you guys saw in the last video, we had this car scanned thoroughly by James at Val Motorsport to see what kind of codes it was throwing, and it threw some really weird Vanos codes.
We have Vanos oil pressure codes. None of these codes are really good to have, but they say non-existent.
Could be from low oil.
Could have been from low oil. There's a plethora of situations that could encourage these results.
These cars are known for having some major engine problems since it is a Formula One derived motor. Unlike this one, I've been hoping that we don't have to take this thing apart. The exhaust note is purring, but the engine, there's no knocks, nothing catastrophic yet. If you guys do hear any weird sounds, definitely let me know. But we got to get this thing scanned, figure out what's going on with this car, because I definitely don't want to end up replacing a $10,000 engine on my new M5. To do that today, we are going to be using the ThinkScan 672 tablet. I want to give a huge thanks to ThinkCar for sending out the ThinkScan 672. Because the 672 comes with a very nice carrying case. And this is going to be great. We're going to be able to keep this thing inside the trunk at all times. But then we open this up. Here we go. We got the nice tablet, and this thing is such a good size. It's pretty much the size of my hand. Super nice rubber grips on the side. You got your charging USB ports up top. We got our power button, and this right here is where you stick the OBD cable in. So we're gonna go ahead and fire this thing up. Once the ThinkScan 672 is fully turned on, take the included OBD cable and plug it into your car's OBD port. You'll know it's working when you see the battery voltage of your car. So depending on the number, you'll know if your battery is running low on voltage. I think these cars need to be at 14 voltage, 14 to 15, so it's looking really good in that department. From here, you can choose whether or not you want to run an auto diagnosis or an OBD diagnosis, which includes real-time readings of data stream, O2 sensor monitoring, IM readiness, and more. The ThinkScan will automatically store diagnostics for multiple vehicles inside of the history tab. You can also take your diagnostic report and share it online for help, or even share it with the ThinkScan team live for extra assistance. You can also run dealer graded maintenance programs that no other basic level OBD tool will allow you to run. This includes things like air fuel ratio resets, ABS bleeding, airbag resets, brake pad reset, anti-theft key matching, gearbox learn, injector coding, steering angle resets, window calibration, and more. But for now, we need to immediately diagnose this V10. We have some stuff with the engine control module, which is first the fuel cap signal, which must mean the fuel cap doesn't have a proper seal. And these are the codes I am worried about. It is Vanos controls, bake 1 and bake 2, and then the Vanos oil pressure. Granted, these codes could pop up from multiple different things, could be low voltage on battery, but the worst case scenario, it could have something to do with rod bearings. Let's just say the metal shavings from those bearings get into the Vanos unit. It's gonna clog things up, especially like the Vanos oil pressure line. That's usually something you replace with the rod bearings as well. Tire pressure control, we can see that ABS light has been on this whole time, and I think that's because the tire pressure modules themselves are dysfunctional. So that's something we could code out or just replace all the tire pressure monitors. And then we also have ABS. We have a DSC brake light switch plausibility. And that is an issue I have been noticing with this car. The brake light stays on at really weird times. We're most likely gonna have to replace the brake light switch, which is not hard. Usually when the Vanos system fails, or will literally go into limp mode on the dash and on the car's iDrive as well. So since that's not happening, I haven't seen any notifications on the dash. There's definitely something happening with this car, and this will clear all the codes. At this point, I think we're gonna take it around the block just a couple more times to see if anything happens. And we need to do further inspections on the battery. We need to make sure that this voltage number is matching what the S85 should be outputting. We may have the wrong battery inside this car. So to see if these codes come back again, I decided to drive around the area. After about 5 minutes of driving, I did notice a dip in power at low RPMs, and then it went away. After I got back, I hopped back on the ThinkScan 672 tablet, rechecked the battery voltage, everything appeared to be perfectly fine. If anything, the battery in this car might be brand new, which almost eliminates the possibility of battery issues. Another V10. We know the battery is good. We also know the Vanos system is not failing since we're not getting any limp modes or any kind of catastrophic warnings on the dash. Everything seems to be clear. That means the last bit of diagnosing that we need to do with this car is check the oil level. Now, these cars do not come with a dipstick or any kind of manual way of checking the oil level. You have to initiate the oil level sensor on this car by just cruising around and then get the oil temps up to optimum use. So we want to make sure we're just cruising this thing around gently, no hard acceleration. I think what's really scary about this too is this car drives so good. The engine feels so quiet and healthy, but everything's up to temperature. So I'm gonna click our BC button twice. Oh, it's done. It says oil is at 1 liter, optimum level. That's good that we haven't been starving the motor of oil, but that is not good in the sense that that's most likely going to be that Vanos line. Back in the garage, and you can see right there, according to the car, we got 1 liter. I can do it again just to be sure. Oh, now it just went to 0.9. So I think at this point it's safe to say the oil level sensor does work. So yeah, we keep getting 0.8s. Do one last time. 0.8 again. So just to be sure, we scan the car again, and we do have a Vanos oil pressure code that came back. So I think that pretty much confirms everything we were just talking about. Something is definitely going on in this department. And we didn't get the other 2 Vanos codes, but I mean, that is just not a good code to have. I think it's safe to say something is happening. The good thing is that something doesn't seem to be catastrophic yet. Vanos is not failing. The rod bearings could be starting to fail, but they haven't failed. We don't hear any rod knock. The engine sounds good. It idles good. It drives good. Honestly, the engine feels really healthy. So it could be something with the Vanos line, which means metal shavings could start getting in that Vanos line. Oil level's okay. So it's most likely not the oil level. Even if the oil is old or if it's the wrong kind of oil, either way, that's going to affect the Vanos unit. So there's a lot of guessing with this kind of stuff. At this point, I don't think we need like a full-blown proper diagnosis on the car. We know kind of the weak points on this engine, on what it could be. Even if we had to diagnose the Vanos system, we're going to have to open the engine up, right? So we're going to have to do some maintenance on this car. We're going to open the engine up. We might as well do the rod bearings while we're in there. At this point, I've already ordered the rod bearings for this car. I already have a Meisterschaft exhaust system to put on this car, but I want you guys to hear this V10 properly. I want to drive it properly for you guys. In order for me to do that without going crazy and losing sleep over what could go wrong with this engine, we're going to have to do the rod bearings. We're also going to do the Vanos high pressure line as well, ARP upgraded bolts, and then we're also going to do the oil pan gasket because the oil pan has to come off anyway. Should be a good start. We can obviously start to inspect things like the Vanos solenoids. And that's a whole nother thing about this whole process is I have driven this car, and every now and then I've had 2 or 3 times where the power has completely gone away at low RPMs. So like when I put in the car in M mode, we get our full 507 horsepower. I've noticed when I've almost stalled the car at stoplights, because I'm still getting used to the clutch, where I've almost stalled it, the power gets cut at like 1,000 to 2,000 RPMs, and then it comes back through the rest of the rev range. Problem is, when I put it back in regular non-M mode, the power is just cut completely. And then when I turn the car off, restart it, it's completely normal, and that issue goes away. So something's telling me there is something with the Vanos pressure, which typically in these situations is that Vanos high pressure line. So it's either that line is aged and deteriorated and needs to be replaced because this car has sat for 5 years, or the rod bearings are having metal shavings going to the high pressure line. It could be getting clogged up and could be messing up with the pressure at certain moments. I don't know. There's a lot of guessing with this kind of stuff. I think at this point we're just gonna have to open the engine up and we're gonna have to do some proper maintenance on this car. Getting to this point though, with all these answers, huge shout out to James from Val Motorsport, but also huge shout out to ThinkScan for sending out their tablet and allowing me to just self-diagnose this car as much as I possibly can. The thing is, by the time you're seeing this video, parts are all ordered, bearings are ordered. They should get here at the end of this week. We're just gonna have to pretty much have to find a shop and get this car in to get fixed, and also further inspect it and see what the inside of this engine is looking like. With that being said, if you guys are interested in getting yourself a ThinkScan tablet to scan your car and diagnose your car yourself, I'll leave all links in the description. Be sure to keep an eye out for any discount codes to save yourself or a loved one some money. And with that being said, stay tuned for the next few videos on this car. We're gonna be back to our normal episodes with this car on this channel soon, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.